So we talk about cooked in fire. Should be cooked in fire.
Ching.
What's up, YouTube? I'm Super Dennis Shoeman, back with the installment number 4 of the Carnivore video. There will be more of these videos, but I got some big news to tell you. Before we go any further, you saw that clip just a moment ago. I'm going to talk about it again. You'll probably see it, a little bit more of it in a minute. But next, a word from our sponsor. Atticus, who's our sponsor? Jesus. I'm going to go back to a verse that I've talked about several times on the channel, and also I'm pretty sure I talked about it in maybe the first Carnivore video where I was just talking about starting this, but now I actually got a devotional about it and learned even more, and man, it's just great. I like when the Bible just gives you new nuggets on verses that you've already gotten nuggets from before, and they're somewhat different. Talked about the prodigal son in a recent one. Atticus thought that one was going to get the power and the other one, no, that's Cain and Abel, I think, probably what you're talking about, probably. But that was one that I got a new nugget for. This is one more. Exodus 12, 8 through 9. Then they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Do not eat it raw. Don't eat it boiled in water, but roasted in fire, its head with its legs and its entrails. So I don't know about the head and legs and entrails part, but maybe I do. I can probably infer some more about that. But roasted in fire. So what we're talking about here is when the Israelites, the day before they were going to leave, there was the spirit of an angel that came through and killed a bunch of people, but they needed to put the blood of a lamb over their doorway to make sure they didn't get killed. But then they also needed to do this. This was something else that the Lord told them to do. And what this is doing, it's talking about Jesus. It's showing what's going to happen to Jesus hundreds of years later, if not thousands. I don't know, a long time later. And specifically, we're talking about a lamb. What is it that you think about when you think about a lamb, Atticus?
Furry.
Furry. What color fur?
Nike.
What color fur, bruh?
Color. White.
White. Thank you. It's not hard to think about, man. Nike? Anyways, I don't know where that came from. Obviously, I didn't tell him. I don't prepare him normally for what I'm going to talk about, even if I say things to him. But white. What is white?
You.
Clean, bruh.
Oh.
Clean. White just reminds you of something that's clean. And that's when we talk about Jesus as the Lamb of God. He's clean, he's pure because he never sinned. So we got a lamb. It's pure, it's young, it's innocent. It hasn't committed any sin yet. It's never done anything wrong. When you think about this little baby lamb, like, what could it do other than maybe poop on you? But it's not trying to be mean. It just got to poop, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Gotta go.
And so what this is talking about is showing us this stuff is going to happen to Jesus, that he will be roasted in fire. When the Bible talks about hell, it's talking about there being gnashing of teeth, and it's crazy. Atticus, you weren't out there when I was cooking the lamb on the grill, but I got the video of it this last time I cooked it. But the first time I cooked it, I got the grill too hot. Like, I want it really hot, like 500, 600, 700 degrees. But then when I put it in there, there's grease that starts coming off of that fat, and then it gets onto the coals and it flares up really bad, and it hisses and it cracks, and there's fire, and it's spitting out. Like, it's hard to open the egg. So that could be an envisionment of hell, because there's gnashing of teeth and it's hot and it's not anywhere you want to be. And when that piece of lamb comes out, you really can't tell that it's lamb. Like, it's a piece of meat, but it doesn't look like what it looked like before. And like, Jesus just went through so much to take on our sin. He was innocent, deserved none of it, but he went through God turning his back on him and saying, I can't be around you. And the other, hell, we envision it a lot of times with fire and heat, and the Bible says gnashing of teeth, but what it really means is separation from God. And God had to be separated from Jesus at that time because Jesus was perfect normally, but when he took on our sin, he had to turn his back on him because he can't be around sin like that. God is too holy to be around sin like that. So he took it for us, but specifically when and this is what the devotion was talking about, like like when you're cooking and when you're eating it, it's like, just be so thankful that God showed us that love to send his son to die for us. So I was actually thinking about it when I was cooking the lamb, and if we're thankful like that when we eat, I think we don't even need a diet. I think that things would change for us in a lot of different ways. But I don't know. I'm taking this diet anyway because I'm fat, and because my knees hurt really bad. So I'm 4 weeks in. Today is actually 4 weeks and 1 day. The end of 4 weeks and 1 day. I told y'all in the last video that I was going to do all lamb for last week. I did do all lamb for last week, for the 4th week, but I made a decision that I was going to stop at 4 weeks minus 1 day. Not stop, but take a break. We'll talk about that in a second. But last week, I also did a 2-day water fast, a 48-hour water fast, and a 12-hour and a 24-hour water fast. Partially because I wasn't that hungry, partially because I didn't have any lamb cooked, but I wasn't hungry. Like, I wasn't starving myself. I wasn't like going through some agony. It really wasn't bad at all. And I'm going to go back to what I have already said on several of these videos. Atticus, focus. I need you to focus, not go to sleep. I'm going to go back to what I've thought about, what I've said for several of these videos, and that's that when you're eating the same type thing over and over again, which I decided to go to beef, or from beef and eggs to just lamb, because I think lamb's a lot better, it tastes a lot better, and I also feel like the price of this lamb is better for the quality of food that it is. It's not just grocery store ground beef that is really cheap. It's a little bit more expensive, and I showed y'all the tag of the one that I cooked before. It's supposed to be farm raised, pasture raised, no extra antibiotics and all that other stuff. So it feels like it's probably a little bit better for me. We'll see as I continue my diet and I get back onto the carnivore. We'll see if a prolonged period of time keeps my knees feeling good. But it was actually really easy. So I ended my 4 weeks and 1 day. 4 weeks minus 1 day, losing 1 pound short of what my overall goal was, which was 34 pounds from 294 to 260, and I weighed 261 yesterday. Saturday. It was, or actually the beginning of the day on Sunday, which was 24 hours short of 4 weeks. My knees still feeling great. My hands still feeling great. My circulation in my hands still feeling great. I did feel it one day because I didn't drink a lot of water before I went to bed. And when I woke up and I was doing something, my hands were going to sleep. It was actually Friday night because Saturday when we were playing, what were we playing downstairs? Minecraft. My hands started going to sleep. Remember, I was moving a little bit and I kept needing to put it down when we were sleeping. So I still need to drink enough, but that's the first time I felt that in 4 weeks. Is that because of something else? Because of me adding back in eggs and lamb? I don't think so. I think it was because I had drank less, because I woke up that morning and the next morning trying to make sure I got off to a good start with drinking enough. Actually, that morning I did it, but it was a little late. So those things, phenomenal, off the charts. My knees are just in a totally different place. Again, I'm gonna make another video just about that because 25 years after starting to go to the doctors, I unlocked the secret, and it's so easy to my joint pain, specifically my knees and my hands. So my hands were going to sleep and they hurt a little bit, but it's not the same kind of pain that I normally get. One more thing to talk about. Actually, I did feel like last week, toward the end of the week, I was playing less throughout the week. I was playing less video games. So I felt like my tennis elbow was improving. That hadn't really improved much at all, but it was absolutely improving. And then, so it's fall break this week. I'm recording this on Monday. Tomorrow, Atticus and I are and had been planning on going to iFly, and you'll probably see a little bit of that in a minute, as well as some other clips of food and also Trent's birthday. But we were planning on going to iFly, just he and I, and him and I, and we were going to then, because it's at the Battery near the Atlanta Braves Stadium, right across the street, we were going to go get some Antico pizza. I've had Antico pizza one time, and pizza is really the only thing I've been craving. Right now, I'm not really craving it, but it's really the only thing I've been craving. So we're going to get that, maybe a couple other snacks. And so I was planning on doing that with Atticus, breaking my diet for a day, my carnivore for a day, breaking ketosis, having to, cycle back into to ketosis afterwards. But because I was very close to my goal, I figured that by Tuesday I would meet my goal. And then Saturday night happened, and I had just finished my 48 hours, I think. Yeah, I just finished my 48 hours early afternoon on Saturday. I had eaten something, but then Hesper came home with a bunch of snacks and then was making a cake for Trent's birthday. Trent just turned 2. Say happy birthday, Trent.
Happy birthday, Trent.
Thank you. They can say it with you. You know, that's you respond with them, with the rest of the viewers. So say happy birthday. Thank you for saying, wishing him a happy birthday. And so I just decided, you know what? It's my son's birthday and my other son's celebration on Tuesday. And it's fall break. Let's just break the diet tomorrow. And man, you're gonna watch me in this video eat my first bite of something. You'll see what it is in a second. And oh my gosh, it was so good. Could you see it on my face how good it was?
You almost started sweating.
I think I almost started crying.
I don't know what it was, but
I don't think it was sweating. I think I almost cried. And I won't tell you exactly what it is, but there's some sourness, like vinegar type flavor. There's lots and lots of flavors from seasonings. It's cold and it's creamy too, and then on something crispy, and it's like all of that is just flavors, textures, temperatures that I have not had on food in a month. Like, it was so good. That was really the very first thing that I ate. Was the only thing I think that I ate yesterday, Atticus, that was like amazing. It was still nice. I had some cake. I had some Rice Krispie treat that was part of the cake, and you'll see all that. Hesper did a great job with all this stuff, and had a little bit of other stuff. It was okay. That was just amazing. And then today, Atticus and I were out. We had to buy a car battery. We got the car washed. We did a couple other things out today, and we went to get another little snack. We were going to get some dessert tomorrow at the battery, but I think we just got it today because I wanted it today. And we were at a new spot that opened up right by our house. Did you remember what it was called?
Some Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian Ice, but that's not the name of the place. Something Italian Ice. But we got just soft serve ice cream because that's one of the other things they say they have, soft serve ice cream. I really love soft serve ice cream. Atticus got some too. And we saw these little cups, like it was the kid size, and then a small, and they're like this big. The kid size was like that. It was tiny. Like, I sneeze more than that, at least when I'm not in ketosis. But I was like, I sneeze more than that. Now let's get the small. But then they put the soft serve in it, and then put it up to here too. So we probably should have gotten the small one because I was fine after having eaten half of it, and Atticus took like an hour to eat the rest of his. You finished it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was really good. Like, it was almost as good as that. Like, whew, so good. So actually, you know what? This is going to be the end of this video. You're not going to see this, the food. I might put just a little bit of the lamb in fire. I'll put the lamb in fire coming up, but we're going to make another video for my celebration coming off of ketosis, Trent's birthday party. So that's coming very soon. And Atticus and I at iFly and the battery. And when I was at church on Sunday, saw a good buddy of mine. We don't see each other that often. We don't talk that often. We should. And I've actually not been talking to him lately about what we normally do, which is once every few months we go to lunch. But I saw him. He was finally at church. And I finally saw him at church. I'm sure he goes sometimes to first service. I just we don't cross paths. And he's off of work on Wednesday. I'm off of work on Wednesday. So we're going to go to the Vortex in Little Five Points. Might make it a stop at Wish ATL, the sneaker shop. And that's going to be the end of my little fall break hiatus. And then I'm going back to just lamb. I got another leg of lamb in the freezer. Go back to just leg of lamb. Make sure I can get back down to 260 because I'm sure right now I'm a little above 260. And I don't know, maybe go for 240. Should I go for 240? That's 54 pounds from where I started. 240?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 240. Let's do it. Last, I guess, one more thing to say tonight. Also ate some arepas. If you're not sure, if you don't know what an arepa is, it's just it's a dough you make with pre-cooked corn flour, bleached-ish corn flour. You make a dough, you make some patties, you fry them in the pan with a tiny bit of oil, and then you bake them. You cut them open, put a little butter in there, a little bit of, I like cheddar cheese or queso fresco, Mexican queso fresco, So it's a Venezuelan dish. I'm from Venezuela. My dad lived a long time in Venezuela, and he's made these. They're Americanized arepas, but as far as what you put in them, American cheese and Mexican queso fresco. And I also like hot dogs. I like smoked ham, smoked turkey is better. And then more recently in my life, he's been making egg salad and chicken salad. So I had those too. And I think that's pretty much it. I didn't get any video of that because, man, it was good. It wasn't as good as the ice cream or the other thing, but man, it was good. Oh, I guess I should say what it was. Nah, wait for the other video. Look at my reaction to this stuff because, man, it was crazy. But 4 weeks, minus 1 day, losing 33 pounds. Great knees, great hands. And we'll talk a little bit more about what has happened over the last few days in the next video. Thanks for being here. Smash the like button for Carnivore. Tell your grandma about Carnivore, although I am not a doctor. So, you know, do your own research. Comment down below what you think. Maybe some congratulations, because I'm congratulating myself. I feel like I did it. Oh, and
Milk.
I was not craving milk at all, but man, it's so good. I love milk. Smash the like button, comment down below, tell your grandma. Remember, I'm not a doctor. See y'all next time. Here we go. It's nighttime. We got 3 ribeyes. This is all chuck. This is actually dry aged chuck. I dry aged this myself for 2 weeks, and it had probably already been, 3 weeks since it was slaughtered. So just gonna brown this off and then put it in the Instapot for 3 hours or so, and then we're gonna eat these tonight. All right, this leg of lamb has been in here for 3.5 hours. I just took it out of the bag. It's pretty much the same one as last time, but took it out of the bag, blotted it dry, cleaned up the hemoglobin, whatever was in there already. And then I actually did it only 3.5 hours, and I did it at 129 degrees because last time was a little too done for me. And actually now instead of just grilling it off like I did last time, I'm going to smoke it for about an hour at a fairly low temperature, then not burn it, then, good doggy, good girl Boda, good doggy, and then I'll sear it off. So I'll clean this up a little bit. I'm going to take the trussing off and then put it on to smoke. All right, so I've opened it up a little bit. I got it in here to smoke. It's a fairly low temperature, not really hot in there at all. I got a little bit of hickory. I'll probably give it an hour at this lower temperature. You can see it's still very rare in the middle, which is what I wanted out of that 129 sous vide temperature. But this is already cooked for 3.5 hours, so I'm not doing this low and slow smoke for tenderness or slow cooking. I'm doing it, you can see it's flaring up a little bit, but that'll go away when I close it. I'm doing this for flavor. This is not the right temperature, but it's been in here for an hour. It's pretty hot. I can't just leave it there. Normally 225 or so, you can just leave your hand there. I say that's 275, 300 for about an hour. You can see it's all cooked on the outside. So now I'm going to take the plate setter out, take everything out of here, let it heat back up really hot, and just sear it off real quick. So this was just a little flap of meat that was kind of hanging off the side. And it's been in here probably 250 to 325 degrees or so for an hour. It was also in the sous vide for the immersion circulator for there we go, for 3.5 hours at 129 degrees, and it's still good and rare, even that little bitty flap. So this is really good. There's no salt on this at all. I just haven't found it that beneficial to put salt on it while I'm cooking it in the, at least lamb, big pieces of lamb like this, in cooking it sous vide, or when I'm putting it in the smoker here, it all just falls off. Most of it falls off. So I'm just gonna, after I am ready to eat it like normal, I'll just salt it as I eat it. But this is heating up. It's getting close. I'm gonna throw the whole thing back on. So we talk about cooked in fire. Should be cooked in fire. Last shot before I start devouring this, or at least a little piece of it. You don't know what, you can't tell what this is anymore. It's just charred. There could be a lot more charred. I just don't want to overdo it in the middle. But like, this could be any piece of meat now. Who knows? But we know it's leg of lamb. It looks so good.
You're so pretty.
Say bye.
Juice. Ah! Shoes. And I like shoes.
Fire! It's so cute.